Hey guys, I wanted to talk about what I did yesterday. Yesterday I completed the Wallis Sands Sprint Triathlon at Rye Beach in New Hampshire. Pretty excited to do this. Well, excited but nervous, and as usual I procrastinated signing up. It's just kind of how I roll. This year has been about follow through, saying I want to do something and doing it. It was pretty important to me to get another triathlon this year. I went through a really bad month where I was really down, my anxiety was bad. I wasn't training the way that I had. I don't know if I was burnt out mentally or I don't know what was going on, but the way I had been in that month, I didn't see myself being able to do something like this again. And it's not like I was thinking about that then. When I came out of it and started training again, I thought I had really hurt the progress that I had made. And I needed to do something. I needed something to push me. And so this triathlon was in the back of my head. And even though I wanted to do it and I was training for it, I couldn't get myself to sign up. I kept kind of putting off the sign-ups, and I actually didn't sign up until about a week and a half before. I put it off as long as possible. So once I did finally sign up for it, it was basically that last week and a half. I tried to get 3 bike rides in, 3 swims in, and I jogged a little bit. I didn't train a lot running, so this was just important. I was talking myself out of it. I was worried about how I would do in the race, and a couple people kind of just made me realize that you just need to do this. I was talking to Joe, and many of you who watch this know Joe. Joe was hurt in an accident, and his attitude was, you know, I would do anything just to walk across a line this year. And then talking to Coach Moxie at Tidal, she was talking about how, you know, you guys are inspiration just for doing these things. A lot of people won't even sign up. A lot of people sign up and don't go. And a lot of people get there and they don't finish. And that regardless of where I finish, I should feel pretty proud of myself for doing it. And that really set with me, and it meant a lot to have that conversation, because I really needed this to kind of feel good about what we've done all summer. And I needed something to solidify or I needed something on paper to show that even though I had that really bad month, that I still put a lot of work in and I didn't lose it all, and that I could get through something like this. So I'm going to kind of talk about how the day went real quick. We got up really early, 3:30 in the morning, loaded the bike up, got my stuff in the car, and we headed out to pick up Joe. And then we got out there around 6 a.m. Once we got out there, we took some time to set up transition, make sure I had everything that I needed. And once that was done, we had about a half hour to kind of relax a little bit. I was definitely nervous going into this. I don't know why. I was really worried about the ocean swim. So kind of not until I had to did I put the wetsuit on. So I get the wetsuit on, and we get down there to the beach, and they come on the speaker and say that they're going to postpone it because of the fog. You couldn't see the buoys that you were swimming to, and I think they were worried about losing track of swimmers in the fog. So they said they might even cancel the swim part, which at that point I was pretty bummed about, because I really don't like duathlons. It's more running. And so just kind of waited to see what was going on there. They came back on and said that they were going to keep the swim, but they were going to move the buoys in. So I think that moved the swim from about 1/3 of a mile to 1/4 of a mile. I don't feel that they likely measured that at all, but I'm guessing that's what it was based on my watch. So I was the 3rd heat. I signed up as novice, and I signed up as Athena, which is women over 165 pounds. And so I had a minute to kind of see how everyone was handling the ocean swim. There was pretty decent waves, considering I hadn't done this swim at all. And when I got out there, that definitely didn't go any way that anything like I thought it would. I got out there, I was having trouble swimming, period. It was like I didn't even know how to swim all of a sudden. And I don't know if it was me trying to adjust to the buoyancy, the added buoyancy I had in the salt water with the wetsuit, because I did practice a swim in the wetsuit, but not as much as I had for Nashua. So I was just glad to get through that swim. I was second to last in my heat for the swim, and that had really frustrated me. And when you come out of the water, it's really hard to get your legs going. And so I didn't get up to transition as quickly as I would like either on that swim. So I know that had a little bit of an impact. Once I got up to transition, I think I changed out of my wetsuit fairly quickly and got my sneakers on, my feet rinsed, and hit the road. It was pretty damp, so I wasn't really thinking about how dense the fog was. I tried to ride with my sunglasses. Luckily, I throw like soccer shorts on over my bike shorts, and I was able to throw those in my pocket because they were just covered in water. as I was trying to ride. But I thought to myself, once I got on the bike, you know, this is your opportunity to make up some of your swim time. You know your run's not going to be great. And I literally just pedaled away. Felt pretty good about the bike. I felt like I was really moving. I passed some other people that had come in ahead of me. But then there was a period of time where I just wasn't catching anybody. I felt like I was pretty much out there on my own. Came in from the bike feeling really good about how the bike went. Definitely felt really positive about how hard I worked on that bike ride. Run fairly quickly. It took me about a minute and a half to switch out of the bike shoes into my running shoes and hit the road. As soon as I started going on the run, my calves were extremely tight from the bike ride, but I kept telling myself, just keep that jog motion, just keep moving, don't let this get to you, don't let it make you stop. Telling myself, don't let my calves being so tight stop me and give me excuse mentally to walk. So I did a pretty good job pushing through that, got to the water station, grabbed a drink, and I told myself, all right, you need to keep moving. When I was at the Nashua Tri, that's when I walked. From pretty much that point out, I couldn't get my legs going, but I didn't feel like that today. So I basically got moving again and didn't walk until close to the turnaround, got around the turnaround and started to pick it up again. At that point, come across another runner that was close to me behind me that I couldn't really see coming down, but so now I knew she was there. And I kind of used her to keep pushing me. I kept telling myself, don't let her catch you. If she catches you, try to stay close to her. So every time she'd get close, if I had started to walk, I would run again. And I really used her to push me and motivate me. When I came in from the end of the race, I had started to realize that I might do pretty well in the class that I had registered, which was Athena. Came in, I think it was 1 hour and 54 minutes, quicker than Nashua, with a longer bike ride, shorter swim. After the run, I wasn't too excited that we didn't get finisher medals. It sounds silly and petty, but I do kind of look forward to getting that medal at the end. Something to collect. I guess it's just like having the bibs from the 5Ks. Something for me to just kind of look back on and remember how hard I worked. But then I realized that I thought I had done pretty well in my class when I was out on the run. I had registered for Athena, the 165 plus women. And so I found out that I actually finished second in the Athena class, so I did get a finisher medal. And I do feel pretty good about that. At first I didn't, because at first it showed 1 out of 2, but I did find out later that there was 7 of us registered in that class. And I know that I'm very far from finishing high in my age range or for the women, and so it did mean a lot to finish well here because I felt like I had put the work in, and I was happy to finish well in the Athena class. I felt like, you know, I'd put the work in, and it was good to have something to kind of show that I had worked so hard. The person who finished ahead of me in first place did finish ahead of me in the race in a pretty significantly faster time than mine. That didn't really frustrate me at all. I'm hoping that she's done many more than me. She did appear to be a little bit more fit than me, a little closer probably to the lower end of the weight that you start. Seemed to be a little closer to the weight that qualifies you for Athena than I am. So it didn't make me feel so bad. Her bike was significantly faster. Her run was a lot faster. And it just gives me something to kind of work towards. I can see, you know, how she did and kind of see what she did for a pace on the bike. And it gives me something to work towards. So I'm definitely glad to be able to use that as a comparison for training. Now, I think the biggest challenge from here out is going to be training through the winter and keeping on the bike. I can't stand spin bikes. I don't know why. Maybe I need a spin class. We'll definitely swim through the winter and should be using our treadmill for the winter. We'll see. So the main thing is going to be training through the winter. John and I did start everything last year in September, and we did train well through the winter, just going to title. So I do feel good that we're going to stay in shape, but I definitely want to keep my legs, because when Nashua Tri comes around next year, I want to make a huge difference in how I did compared to this year. This has been Triathlons have been the best thing for me personally. I think John feels great about them. It was just harder for him to get the training in for this race, so he didn't do it. It gives me something to work towards individually. Like I've said before in the past, when you get out there, you're really just racing against yourself, especially when you're new at it. Unless you're extremely fit and it's your first time out there and you think you can finish high up. Otherwise, you know you're not going to be that first one in. And everything you do is these own little goals that you're putting in your head, and you might even be changing that goal while you're out there racing. And it's a great feeling to accomplish this, to know that you pushed your body that day and you didn't quit. It really has been the best thing for me the last year, is to get into these. I look forward to doing more next year with more people. People that say, I'll never do the swim. You can do it. The swim isn't easy, I'm not gonna lie, but you can do it. And that's the main thing. If you get through the swim, you can make up time on your bike, you can make up time on your run. And I think it's something everyone who has thought about it should do, and that's what this past year has been about for me and John. Is if we thought about it, we needed to do it. There's still a few more things on my list. The way the weather's changing, I don't know if I'll be able to do one of them. I do hope in the winter to get back on a snowboard again. The one that I'm kind of not sure about whether or not I'll be able to do is aerial ropes course. Has been on my list for a while. I would like to get it done this year. With everything else that I've accomplished, if that doesn't get in this year, I'm not going to be too hard on myself about it. I do need to start working the rest of the year to get down to a 10-minute mile. That is one of my goals this year, not by my birthday. And we should be planning on doing the Wicked Fit Run in Concord again, so we can kind of see our progress from last year to this year. So we have a lot of things still coming up this year. Definitely glad I did this. Thank you for everyone for supporting us. It means a lot. I can't even put it into words. People that may have had a side conversation with me talking about wanting to do this, you may not have known, something you said probably made a difference in whether or not I did it. So I really appreciate everyone that's talked to us about anything that we've been doing here lately, or anything that they've been going through, because it makes me think about it, it makes me put things into perspective, and it helps me push myself to just do those things that I was thinking about, and completing and fulfilling my goals that I had this year. So thanks guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully